It's windy, and you guys are perched on a ledge. I hope it doesn't blow off. Desperately hope it doesn't blow off. Okay. Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Got myself some different glasses today. The ones in the throwback video for the season so far, they did actually go down quite well, to be fair, even though I picked them up on a building site and there was no flipping glass in it. But you're not here for my choice of glasses, but these are actually a gift. Today, I'm going to be doing one of these ranking things, you know, like they were quite popular a while back, and in typical Benson style, when something's popular, I try and stay away from it. I don't really know why, to be honest, because if I could have foreshadowed there being no football, I'd have probably needed the views when these ones were popular to get some money in my pocket. But today, 20 potential Chelsea transfers that have come out of some sort of leak or some sort of gossip column, or these are players that Chelsea have been linked with. Some of them are quite strong links, some of them are quite like wacky out there links. We're going to split this up into 5 different categories in this tier ranking system. The first one are key signings that Chelsea desperately need to elevate us to the next level. Obviously, we've gone through and tried to build the ideal Chelsea team in the 3-part series we did last week, but a key signing is obviously someone who's going to come in and immediately change the game for Chelsea in some way. The second tier is improves the first team. So if these players were to come in, would they immediately replace somebody who's currently at the club? The third tier is improves the squad. So these are the kind of players that Chelsea might bring in on a pretty decent price to be able to give us more options in different positions. And then we start to move down, and as these things work, you start off with like the pinnacle at the top, and then it works its way down to, nah, not really interested, mate. Give me a sec. I've got a soda water over here. It is boiling today. We've had like a bit of rain recently, and it's a hard one today. So we move down, and obviously with the financial market and the footballing market the way it is, we're going to be looking at loans a lot during this transfer window. So we've put loan to improve the 11. It's down in the 4th tier, but obviously this is our way that we can segregate all the players. And the final one, I don't really know why it's green. It should be red, to be honest, if we're looking at the 6 things we learnt system that we have. Do not buy. Like, I'm not interested in these players. I know there's a lot of you that are still not subscribed to this channel. I feel like I'm a lecturer every time I make a video saying, just please subscribe. We're getting close to 100,000, so subscribe if you haven't already. Without any further ado, I'm going to do this in the order that they are appearing on the screen. You guys can see what I can see. There's like a corner of an ad for enrolling at university on the right hand side of it. I apologise about that, but we're going to zoom in. There we go. A little bit neater, a little bit tidier. First player is Aleksandra. The question with this one is, we know that left back is a position that Chelsea are going to be looking to strengthen, whether that is direct replacements for both Alonso and Emerson so that they can both leave, whether one of them's going to leave. I think the consensus is that Frank Lampard isn't necessarily 100% sure in the left back position whatsoever. I look at the other players that we've got at the bottom here. There's also Ben Chilwell. So at this point, a decision's being made in my mind. Do I think that Telles is the key signing or Ben Chilwell is the key signing? We've established left back as a position of weakness. I'm actually going to start off with Alex Telles as a key signing, which means we basically need to put Ben Chilwell in the do not buy category, because Alex Telles for me would be a much better value replacement for an Emerson or a Alonso. With Chilwell, we're going to be paying Leicester a lot of money because they don't want to sell to a Premier League rival. We're also going to be paying a lot of money because the geezer is from England, so it's just the nature of the way the Premier League works. Alex Telles for me would be a bargain, saving up some money for other positions. Now this one, we've spoken about him a couple of videos ago. It's Angel Gomez, the bloke from Man United, who again would be a free agent, which is probably the only reason why Chelsea will be going for this player. However, I don't see the point, and I mentioned it when I made the video. It is bloody sweaty here. I apologise for the drips on my forehead. Angel Gomez, we're not going to buy him either. We're starting to fill up this bottom rung here because I just don't think he'd be a necessary signing for Chelsea. We've got so many other options in the same position as what he plays in. So let's move on to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, to be precise. This bloke potentially could be available to Chelsea. Not only is he a player who throughout his career has delivered, we know he's got that electric pace, we know that he's scored goals wherever he's been. Aubameyang's at a stage in his career where we know he's not the right side of 20. However, with that Premier League experience, to be able to take someone of that quality away from a rival, we can kind of compare it to when Robin van Persie signed for Manchester United, key player in Arsenal's team. United then went on and bought him, and then the trophies speak for themselves. Not only do I think he could be a brilliantly versatile player for Chelsea, be it up front or on the wing, it would also weaken a rival to strengthen us. So for me, I would go as far as to say that Aubameyang is a key signing for Chelsea. Not only would he improve the first team, but it'd be a great role model for Tammy Abraham as well. So the next one is definitely one that is up for debate. We've got Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. Chelsea have been linked with Ake's return to Stamford Bridge for quite some time. Do I think he'd be a key signing? No, because I don't think he's actually at a level that's better than the centre-halves we currently have at the club. However, he is on par, so for that reason, I don't think he would necessarily bolster the first team. So for that reason, we're going to stick him bang in the middle and say that he'd improve the squad. So the next player, of course, is Jeremy Bolger. We've talked about Jeremy Bolger as well over the course of the last few weeks on the channel. Chelsea have got a buyback clause for Jeremy Bolger, which means that if we were to go in for him, he would be relatively cheap, and considering both Willian and Pedro are likely to leave the club, Jeremy Bolger would be a natural replacement for one of those players to come into the team. He's still very young. I don't necessarily think he's at a level yet where he would run straight into Chelsea's first team. So for that reason, he can be Nathan Ake's neighbour, and we're going to say that he'd improve the squad. Moving into the next one, Philippe Coutinho. The man has suffered a lot of injuries. He's not had the best of times since he left for Liverpool. Not only did we see him play some of his best football of his career at Liverpool, but ever since he's left, Liverpool have gone from strength to strength, and he's not really fit in anywhere that he's gone, be that at Barcelona or Bayern Munich. But when we look at what Coutinho brings, he's got Premier League experience, he is experienced in general as a footballer, and he's got that explosive ability to change a game with a moment of brilliance. In terms of Chelsea actually going in for Coutinho, I've always said since we were linked with him, and I made a video like almost a month back now, saying that if we were to get him, a loan would be absolutely brilliant with an option to buy. So for that reason, Coutinho goes in the loan to improve the 11, because he would improve the starting 11 at Chelsea. He can play in various different positions, be it on the wing or as a number 10, and he would add a brand new dynamic to Chelsea's midfield or the wings. So Coutinho's going in. Then we've got Declan Rice. Now this is another transfer that's been linked heavily, particularly when Mason Mount was caught playing football with Declan Rice breaking lockdown. However, we're not going to address that one too much. Declan Rice was obviously on the books of Chelsea in the past, but in terms of what we'd have to spend to bring Declan Rice in, do I think that he would be better than a Kovacic or a Kante or a Jorginho? No, I don't. And in terms of what West Ham would demand for his services, I have to be put off by Declan Rice's price. So for that reason, we're going to stick him in the green at the bottom alongside Ben Chilwell and Angel Gomez. We now move into the striker, Moussa Dembele, the man from Lyon. Heavily linked with Chelsea, heavily linked with Manchester United as well. I don't necessarily think that bringing in Dembele would be such a groundbreaking signing that it was completely change everything for Chelsea. I think that he would improve the first team. I think right now, in terms of comparing him to a Tammy Abraham, I'm not entirely sure, considering that we've seen Dembele play in the French league and Tammy's already delivered in the Prem. Is Dembele, as a signing, going to be a player that comes in, immediately displaces Tammy Abraham and brings Chelsea up a level? I'm not entirely sure. I think as a support striker in competition for Tammy, he could be very good. I would say that Dembele would improve the first team, but at Tammy Abraham's expense, I'm not entirely sure. However, considering he's had a very good season at Lyon, he's been heavily linked with a move to the Premier League, I would say that Dembele would improve the first team. So we're going to stick him just beneath Aubameyang and Alex Telles and say that he'd improve the first team. You get my drift. So the next player is Jack Grealish. There's not been that many heavy links for Jack Grealish to Chelsea, but at the same time, every top club in the Premier League, despite what he did when he was crashing cars and getting drunk during lockdown, Jack Grealish is a very talented footballer. He's got the hunger. He does have leadership capabilities as well. For a young man, he's been carrying Aston Villa back into the Premier League, and he's had a very good season again, showing what he can do in the big games. Chelsea, at the moment, there's no real concrete interest in Jack Grealish. I think a lot of the top clubs will be after him, but for that very reason, we do have an abundance of midfielders. So I would say, and this one could be controversial, let me know what you think of this in the comments, I would say that I'm going to put Jack Grealish and improves the squad. In terms of would I rather have Ruben Loftus-Cheek or Jack Grealish playing in Grealish's position, I'd probably pick Ruben. He's a very good player, Mr. Grealish, but I'm a Ruben fan. Let me know what you think in the comments. So the next player that we're going to talk about is the man that came back to the Bundesliga with an absolute bang. He's being heavily linked with a move to Liverpool, or potentially Barcelona, but there has been a few links and a few discussions had word amongst the Chelsea media online community, suggesting that Kai Havertz could well be on Roman Abramovich and Frank Lampard's radar. Havertz is a brilliant player. He can play in centre forward, he can play as a number 10. He's a man who scores a lot of goals, and he was brilliant at the weekend. I saw a lot of the highlights from the Bayer Leverkusen game, and this guy's a baller. I definitely think if he was to come in, he would immediately improve Chelsea's front line. So for that reason, I don't necessarily think he's a key signing, because I'm not convinced it's the position that Chelsea are most desperate for, but he would 100% improve that first team. Alright, so this is the man that I spoke about countless times last week when it came to building Chelsea's team for the 2020-21 season. If you've not watched that series, it was a 3-part video series last week where we built the perfect midfield, perfect defence and perfect attack. No idea why I said it in that order. It didn't make much sense, but Kalidou Koulibaly was the man that I pinpointed or hallmarked or called out as the key signing in Chelsea's defence. The man's a leader, he's got very similar ability to that of a Virgil van Dijk. Potentially, he's ready to leave Napoli as well, and Chelsea would definitely be one of the interested clubs. So for that reason, we're going to wedge Mr. Koulibaly in the top row alongside an Aubameyang and an Alex Telles. Moving in to his Napoli teammate, Dries Mertens. This one, for me, would be definitely improving the squad. However, from the moment I came up with this idea to now, it looks as though Mertens, if he hasn't already, is about to sign an extension at Napoli, which makes total sense. And it's one of those where, at his age of 33, you only really want him to come to Chelsea if he was adamant that it was the next best move for his career. If he wants to stay in Naples, fair play to the geezer, he's a hero over there. So we're going to say that Mertens would improve the squad, but that one's not going to happen. So the next one is Onana. So this is a transfer which has had the Chelsea fan base going backwards and forwards for a while. We've been linked with Onana. He wouldn't be the most expensive replacement if we were to be getting rid of Kepa. I'm going to stick with exactly what I said, building my Chelsea team for the future video where we built that defence. I gave Kepa my backing. So for that very reason, Onana, do I think that Chelsea will be looking to spend 35-40 million on a backup goalkeeper, considering Willy Caballero, shout out to the 39-year-old, the geezer's just signed a new deal. This one is one of those now where Chelsea don't even need to be interested. I think if we do give Kepa the approval to go forward and give it another shot next season, which I do think we will, I think it'd be a waste if we didn't, it would mean there's absolutely no need, in my opinion, to bring in Onana. However, it would be great, it would be nice if we can just have it as like a little side thing. It's like when you go to a buffet, the buffet's always better when it's first bought out, when it's readily available, as opposed to at the end when everyone's been and you've just got what's left. I don't know how this is relevant, to be honest. I've just shot myself in the foot with this one, but Onana's going to go in improving the squad because I'm going to stick with Kepa, but it would be nice, you know. It's just one of those little extras. That's where I was going with the buffet thing. It's nice if it is the start, but if it isn't, you're still going to tuck in anyway. Do you know what I mean? So the next geezer we're going to talk about is supposedly linked with a swap deal to Chelsea with Jorginho. Miralem Pjanic, the man's 30 years old. Supposedly he's got no interest of leaving Juve, so for that very reason, plus the fact that I don't want Jorginho to go the other way, I don't want us to buy Miralem Pjanic. He's going to sit there in the bottom with Declan, Mr. Benjamin, and Mr. Angel. So we move on to Romagnoli, another centre-half who Chelsea have been linked with in the past, potentially to leave AC Milan. I don't think he is going to go anywhere this summer. He's not quite at the level of a Koulibaly for me, but I do think if Chelsea were to go in for Romagnoli, he would probably fit straight into that back line alongside somebody. So for that reason, going to stick him alongside Havertz and Dembele. Now this is the geezer that we've spoken about the most on this channel. Chelsea being linked with Jadon Sancho has been the fuel for about 6 or 7 videos that I've made here on GBFC. So cheers for all the links, Jadon, and cheers for the fact you're from London, and Chelsea is a London club with money to spend, so those links are just perfectly fitting, considering Jadon Sancho is supposedly, as a kid, a Chelsea fan. So I think that Jadon Sancho would be the ideal long-term Eden Hazard replacement. You throw into the mixer Pedro and Willian potentially leaving as well. Jadon Sancho, for me, is a key signing that Chelsea need to be going all out for if he's available. Supposedly, Borussia Dortmund have lowered their asking price for Jadon Sancho, which would make him more accessible to the club. I would absolutely love to see Mr. Sancho at Chelsea, so we're sticking him in the top rung or the top ladder in a key signing. So the next player we're going to talk about is Aleksandra. We're getting close to the end of this. I've actually really enjoyed this. If you've enjoyed it too, hit the like button and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Mr. Sandro, left back, was in demand for the whole of Europe a couple of seasons ago. He's getting on a little bit now. And my question to you guys is, do we think that Aleksandro is that much of a... Oh, it's a big ant. He's on my tripod. There's a big ant on the tripod. Just thought I'd inform you. That's not an ant. Do I really think that Sandro would be that much of a step up from an Emerson in his best form or an Alonso at wing back? I don't No, I think he probably is a better player, all in all. In terms of filling me with that excitement as being like the man who would definitely elevate Chelsea's left-back position, he's not quite the Alex Telles, I don't think, so I'm going to stick Sandro in improves the first team, and I don't know why, that's the only PNG that's gone wrong. So the next player is Timo Verna. Chelsea have been linked with Verna. He's flirted with a move away from Leipzig, but he's also heavily flirted with Liverpool. So I do, at this point in time, think that Timo Verna is a more complete striker than Tammy Abraham. It doesn't mean that I don't back Tammy. I think Tammy is still going to improve, and I'm sure that he can reach a Timo Werner-esque level. I would actually say, to immediately benefit Chelsea Football Club, I think that Timo Verna would actually be a key signing. I think that we would guarantee goals from him. He's an explosive kind of player. He's very fast. He can finish very well. At this stage, I think Werner is closer to being a complete striker than Tammy, so I would say for Chelsea's immediate growth as a football club, Timo would be a key signing. And Wilfried Zaha, we're going to finish this one with a little bit of an anticlimax. I don't want to buy Wilfried Zaha. It's been discussed on this channel before. He goes into the bottom ladder, which means we've got 5 players in the key signings, 4 in improves the first team, 5 in improves the squad, 1 in loan to improve, and 5 in do not buy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Of course, Chelsea can be linked with 100 players. It doesn't mean we're probably going to sign any more than 4 or 5 at maximum, in my opinion. If we were to sign all of those players in the key signings, we would be spending in excess probably of around 300 million, which could be a little bit ridiculous and very unexpected, considering despite the money we've got coming in from the Morata sale, from the Hazard sale, from not spending anything in the last 2 windows, spending 300 million without selling anyone else is something that is highly unlikely, particularly in the current transfer market. But this has been fun to go through these players. I would love to see what you guys come up with if you do something similar. Thank you for watching. As I said earlier, subscribe to the George Benson Football channel if you haven't already, so you're not missing out. Hit the like button, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.